Hello there, chocolate custard. You need to understand something about crypto so you don't lose all your money. There's a harsh truth you need to know. And when I show you this, it's going to shock you. So, most influencers, they will talk to me and you about their altcoin strategy. Because everyone knows in crypto, the way to get rich is altcoins. You need low caps, micro caps, very small things. Specifically, the reason is they have a low number of users holding the coins. And we know in crypto, because you're a baby doll baby cake and you're a chocolate custard tart, that from Metcalfe's law, if you have n user growth and n goes up, the price increase will be 2 arrows, n squared. You know this. So if you do 10x the user base, you're going to 100x the price increase. That's why it's really important to get in early, because it's easy. If you're in something that has 1,000 people, it's easy for that to go to 10,000 people compared to if you start with something with 50k people. See, if they add 10,000 people, look at that. If they add 10,000 people, that's nothing. 1,000 to 10,000 is 10x the user base. You're going to get a 100x price increase here. You will. But if you do 10,000 people coming into a 50k coin, you're going to get basically nothing. Yeah, it's going to push it up. Of course, it's going to push it up, but you're not going to get what you want. If you want to do a price increase, man, you're going to have to get 450,000 people. So you need to go from 50k to 400 to 500k. So that's why it's important. That's why, and look, the influencers know this, but they also know they're greedy. Okay, they're a lot of them narcissists, public figures. You can't really trust a lot of them. I'll be honest. You know this as well. You know this deep down. You can't really trust them. You're coming to me. I'm here to tell you. They're here to rug us. They're here to rug us. They'll smile to your face. They'll say, this is a paid promotion, or this isn't. They'll do ICOs. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is what they don't tell you. They'll always talk about their altcoin strategy. Always. They always talk about altcoin, low caps, etc. But this is what you don't know, and you have to know this, please. There's an important part of their strategy they don't actually tell you, and it's hard for a lot of them to admit, but they don't want to believe it either. But I'm going to show you the numbers, why it makes sense. They actually rely on their Twitter and their YouTube audience to follow and buy after them so they can exit. It's the truth. And we're going to go through, I'm going to plug in some numbers for you. You're going to see how easy it is for them to do it. Because you might think, if they release a little tweet here, you think, okay, if the coin has to go up like 5x immediately for them to exit. It doesn't happen most of the time. That has happened with many influencers. Got a lot of evidence, a lot of receipts. Don't worry about their names. Everyone knows them. Because there's going to be a new face in 60 days again. So who cares? We're not going to focus on them. We're going to keep smiling. We have brave hearts. We have courage. We're going to the future. Unfortunately, it comes in a more sinister way. So they're in from an early price. And because of the way the chart's painted and everything, you might only see the coin go up like 2x. But what you don't know is this person, they're already up like 10x. So that double, that made them another 10x their money. This is what you don't know. Of course, I never tell you that. They'll never tell everybody their real entry price. You know, the SEC went over after the stock market people, the scum, who did the pumping and dumping in private Discord groups and public on Twitter in 2022. Do you know what these evil scum did? And this was always my biggest fear. What they did was they had paid groups. They lied about their entry prices. So these guys, let's say they'd buy a stock, they'd buy it at $10, and then then they would shill it, and it would go to like $27. That's big, right, in stocks. And then it would come back down to like 13, and everyone would lose. Everyone would lose, and it'd go down to like $5 later. But what they would sell their audience is they're like, oh, guys, I lost on this stock. I remember one example. The stock actually did go to $27. Then it went back down to $8. But they told their group they bought at $22. They said they got in at $22 and they took a loss. The SEC ended up doing the big investigation. It turns out these evil scum, these hateful people, they were in at $10. So they were taking profit at like 18, 20, 22. They were getting out, but they just told everybody, oh, I lost with you guys. So everyone has stayed truthful and trusting to them. Very harsh reality we got to deal with. These people, they're subhuman. You just got to remember that. There's a lot of subhuman filth out there, and these are the people who try to take power away from me and you, but we're here. We're going to keep fighting. We're not going to let it get us down. So I want you to know, part of these YouTube influencers and Twitter influencers, and yes, I mean every single one, even if they're honest, even if someone like me, if you come to me and call me a scammer, I'll be like, you know what? You're going to make it. Yes, assume everyone's a scammer, man. Because if I came in, there's thousands of them, assume everyone has an angle to sell you something. That's the only way you're going to make it. I promise you, all right? I promise you. So you're going to see some numbers here. I've been talking to you about these. I'm telling you now, you've been warned. So you're not going to like what you see, but we're going to go through this, and I'm going to let you know if this is something you just got to know about. You know, YouTube, any influencers groups, even the YouTube ads, you can see the cold call action rate of a person's audience. It tends to be between 1 to 5%. So if someone has an audience of 100,000 people, you will find that the amount of people in their Patreon or their Discord group or whatever they're shilling, they tend to get about 1 to 3% of their audience to actually convert and do something. So when you look at that number, you can use this as a very nice average rate of conversion to see how much impact they have when they pump and dump. And I promise you, this works in cold calling rates. This works when, you know, when people often say if they cold call 100 people to try to sell them a product, about 1 to 2 every 100 will answer. It's the same thing when it comes to conversions and advertisements, etc. Very interesting. So when you see someone with 50,000 people on their YouTube, see, this is what I do. I'm showing it to you. When I see someone 50,000 people on their YouTube or 50,000 followers on Twitter, what I will do is go and get just like 2% of that. If you want to be super conservative, do 1%. I'm going to do this. Do 1% of their numbers. 1% of 50,000 people is 500 people. Now, you might say, oh, 500 people. What do you say about that, sir? And I'm like, okay, have a look at this. 500 people putting in $500 is $250,000. And this is where I'm going to teach you something again, because you are a very yummy, scrumptious chocolate custard tart. I want you to know there's a difference between market cap and liquidity. Okay, a lot of people don't understand this. I've made videos on this many times. I'll keep doing it for you because you're an outsider like me. You need a friend out there. I'm your friend. $250,000, when that enters a coin, you don't make the coin's market cap go up by $250,000. There is a big multiplier, depending on the liquidity available. But most of the time, you are adding about 20x that in liquidity. Many times. I'm not joking. Now, it's not... So I'm going to do a number of 20 here. So yes, that's what happens. You can make 5 million added. Isn't that crazy? So is this starting to make sense to you? Where you're like, wait a minute, a lot of these influencers, they're in at like 500K market cap, 250K in these little altcoin degens, and now they're in their audience over the next 24 hours to 5 days. They slowly hear about it. This is what happens. You might say, hey man, yeah, there are people who throw in $2,000, $3,000, etc. I'm just giving you an example. These numbers are real. So I've got another coin here. We can do this live. So this is one of the coins being shilled. You don't even need to know the name. I don't even want to say the name. So I've got this coin here. And look, firstly, the scammers make, this is on Dex Screener. You got a new coin. You can see how easy it is to lose your coins, lose all your money in crypto. This is why please, you got to promise me, if you're going to do anything when Pulse Chain launches and be participate in 2024, 2025, please, for the love of God, make another wallet, another hot wallet in MetaMask. Please don't use your normal core wallet to do this. There are so many scams. They put so many conditions in the code. We don't know what the hell's going on, man. It's disgusting. All these scammers, firstly, they make all these fake coins. You got to find the one with the highest liquidity and the longest age. It's somewhere 9 days. And I just want you to see the difference here. So obviously, there's a difference between market cap and liquidity. Market cap means nothing. It means nothing. It kind of gives you an idea of the size, but really means nothing. What you need to be looking at is actually how much money does someone need to sell to send this thing minus 80 to 90%? How much money can be taken out if it wants it to be taken out? And what you can do is you can have a look here. You can grab, if you scroll down, this is what I'm always doing. Right? I want to find the full total liquidity. You can go here, you copy, and you will go to info.uniswap.org. I'm going to get it right here for you because you're a baby cake. By the way, shout out to all my Microsoft Bing Edge Maxes. So we're coming back for it, baby. So we can go up here and you're going to search for this coin. This is Uniswap V3. So most of them are going to be in Uniswap V2. So you'll notice there's no liquidity here because no one really wants to use Uniswap V3. So this is another word, just kind of help you with Pulse Chain as well. A lot of these coins, they just want to throw 50-50, make it even, and they want people to put it in. Now, it's not even appearing here, but I'm going to quickly get it for you. And for some reason, the address wasn't pasting in, so I just typed it in manually, the name, and you can go here and you can see, have a look at this. You can see the total liquidity, how thick it is, 3.2 million. So when you see this number, this is two-sided. So you got to divide it by 2. So that 3.2 million, that is on the bid and on the offer. You only want to know the bid. You want to know, all right, if someone loses the plot and they just want to exit, they wake up, maybe their orange juice is too warm, they've chucked a fit, they can only sell 1.6 million. Now, you can check this yourself. This is why I'm helping you to see what you can do. I want you to find out. You find out with me. You want to see, this is actually saying, what's the skeleton? What is actually underneath this coin, this asset? The abstraction of value in our minds means a lot. So you really got to understand what the hell is actually holding these things up. How much money is it there? Because what everyone's seeing are just green candles flying on in the screen and people tagging. This is actually the market. You actually want to see what's the veins of it. So what I'll do is I'll go to 1 inch, right? And for my American brothers and sisters and my grandmas up there, you guys, 1 inch of band use. So you're going to have to find another way. Might use Uniswap. You got to find the proper way. Find another website that lets you see the actual routing. And what you'll do is you'll copy paste the code in. You get the name of the coin. What you want to do is you just want to see what happens to the price if we dump a Rooney. So you can see if you sell this many, you can look at the bottom right here, $29,000. All right, $29,000, only got about like 2% slippage. What happens if we add another zero? So it's going to be $290,000. Let's see what would happen. You got a 13% slippage. What would happen if you add 2.9 million? So add another zero. 60% the slippage here. So you get to see, you're like, wait a minute. Now, if we go back here, very interesting, baby dolls, because up here, there's $18 million of market cap. If you remember, I've made videos on this. Market cap is useful. Don't believe it's not useful. It's useful. Market cap is if you have a house of people, you have 5 people in there, and they all own a coin. They all own heaps of this coin. For example, let's say this poop coin, they all own it. And you went and asked them individually, hey, how much net worth do you have? They will all tell you the theoretical value if they themselves sold the coin and no one else did. That's what they will tell you. So they all think like, oh, I've got 50 million each. So you think, oh, wow, you've all got 50 million each. But you go and you check the market and you're like, wait a minute. 50 million each, man, if just one of you guys paper hands and sells 3 million, you send this baby down 60%. So now you know, you're like, wait a minute, these guys don't have 50 million each. In fact, one of them's got 3 million, and when he gets out first, the other guys, their net worths have halved. Do you see what the problem is here? It's a fugazi, it's imagination. But this is how society works. So don't think I'm saying crypto's all a Ponzi, because you know what else is a Ponzi scam? Houses in your street. So if there are 10 houses in your street and your house goes for $1 million and then someone in next door buys their house for 5 million, well, everyone thinks in their street, wow, our houses are all worth like $5 million. So the market cap of your street went up, but nothing printed. And then if that person who bought the $5 million house, let's say the house has got ghosts and it's actually got poltergeist and it's cursed and they got to sell it for $100,000. What happens then? Everyone's street house is now worth like, 3 to 500K. So the market cap has decreased, but no transactions have happened with everybody else's house. It's the same thing here. But of course, with houses, you can see it, you can live in it. There is a different perspective of society when they view a house you can live in compared to imaginary poop coin. Now, we all understand the game. So this is what you're actually looking at. Every coin. You can do this with Bitcoin. You can do this with everything else. Now, it gets hard. Remember, we are on a DEX. This is why I love DEXs, because you get to see the real truth. When you're dealing with all these exchanges, like Chinese, Asian exchanges with different rules, and they all fumble their volume, you don't know how actual real liquidity exists, because they will tell you, oh, there's $10 million to buy. But really, if you try to click in, they'll only give you like $500,000 worth, and they'll make you slip big. So you can't trust them. You can trust the DEXs, but this is where the altcoin land is, and this is exactly what's happening. So look at all of this. So all these influencers, remember, we're talking about influencers shilling it to you. So now you've seen this. Hey, there's a big difference between these coins and market cap. Look, isn't this funny, right? Isn't this funny? I just want you to know. $3 million slipped it down 56%. Isn't that crazy? Which means when there was only like $1.5 million, if an influencer with 50,000 followers, when he teams up with another scum influencer, maybe that guy's got 100,000. Now you have a combined, remember from our earlier example, now you have 1,500 people. And if they're putting in, I think the real average number is like $800 per person. That's the real actual average clip out there. They're putting in 1.2 million. So now you've actually seen, this is enormous. This is a 60% move. Look, I can go back to show you what 60% is. So you might see this coin. All right, so this coin, and by the way, it happens for every single one. I'm just going to go up and draw 60%. So you might see this coin, and I'll change it to a 4-hour so we can view it. So it's pumping. You don't know this, right? You don't know this. The coin might be here, and you want to know how thin it is. One influencer, and his little shilling, he can push it up. There you go. It's actually more than this. So he's like down here. What I'm trying to do is just show you 60%. Of that move was just this one influencer doing it. Look at that. Look at the ground made here. Look at the ground there. Now, that's at the top, by the way. That's at the top. They are shilling much earlier as well. You're going to be flipping out here. Look when it was much smaller. Remember, this is people adding. They were able, with that theoretical money, to push it up 60% with their shilling. And this is already, the coin is up here at 200 million market cap. Do you know how much damage they're able to do when it's down here? We're going to put a log chart. This is absolutely insane, man. This is insane. So I'm going to actually show you right now. If you were to imagine that the liquidity was only 300K, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 90% down. So it is right here, actually. You can see it right here. So right here in this zone, only $300,000 of liquidity at this point. So remember, you can use the Uniswap formula to find out how much you can push it. So this is the crazy part. If those influencers, remember, we already know they're putting in like 1.2 million. You only need $600,000 from them. And because of the way the Uniswap formula works, you can be getting, because there's going to be buy and sells along the way, right? It can go up like a 6x for them. It can go up like a 4 to 5x. We can actually do this number here, and I'm going to show you what they would have done themselves. They're up here, this whole move. So you don't know that next move's happening, but that's it. That's it. Isn't that amazing? You get to see it, actually. It's funny. It's about exactly 4x. You get to see. Isn't that crazy? Look at this. This whole move, friends. Remove this little arrow and make it nice and neat. They start shilling. They're in. That's what they do. Because you know what's what they do, right? So they start shilling. They're already in. Then they start shilling. 300K liquidity becomes 900K. You get your 4, 5x up here. They're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. You want to know how much money they make? I mean, they're in from down here super early. So they're actually making from 19. Wow, this is a lot of money they get to make. This is just one example. And this has actually happened, right? Yeah, they're up a 50x. Look at that, 50x. So I hope you're understanding now. There's a difference between market cap and liquidity. It's all theoretical value, but markets are much thinner than you think. And these influencers, go do the numbers yourselves, right? Have a look at their followers. That's what I'm always doing. I know, for example, there's one of the altcoin follower guys. He's got like 105,000 people, right? You know, 105,000. If 1%, it's always minimum 1%. This is conservative. He has, whenever he posts, whether he cares to admit it or not, he's got 1,000 people ready to pounce. And if they have $800 to put in, even 500, they'll have between 500K to 800K to push the liquidity. So you can imagine if there's only 100K liquidity and 500K comes in, you can get 4 to 5 squared. So 16 to 20x. Now it doesn't go linear like that because as people push up, other existing people sell. So it's the net buying would be a 16x, but nobody always lets the net buying effect go to 16x most of the time. So this is obviously a very good run for everybody in. They're happy because, we finally made it. But most of the time, you'll see a chart like this. You'll see it go up, they go 4 to 11x max, and then just come back down. That's what happens. It never leaves the floor. And they're all exiting around here. That's the shilling part. The shilling part, people are buying. Because everybody, what are they doing, baby dolls? Why do you think people are buying up there? They're looking at the market cap. Because they're buying something. They're saying, oh, this market cap's only like 1.2 million. It's not even 10 million yet. So that's how they try to get you to anchor in your mind and for you to see, oh, that we're cheap, we're not even 10 million when they're exiting. So please, I'm here to look out for you. I'm here to look out for you. I'm an outsider like you. They are trying to rinse you. They're trying to rinse you. They're trying to rinse me. I know this inside out. I know exactly how it works. Whether they even know how it works or not, they pretend not to. They know what they're doing. Okay, they know what they're doing. You know why? Show me. That's what I'm going to end with. I'm going to prove to you one thing. You go to my Twitter. You go to my results. Show me one guy or girl or a duck who did this anonymously. Show me. Because I did this by myself. I could shill to no one. I only started recording this because I thought, I better record it just in case one day. I don't know anybody who's done this. I have not come across, and by the way, if I found them, I'd share them with you because I want to win like you. If someone has an edge, yeah, come on, we can win. I have not found someone who goes, does a method, comes back, and he's like, hey, I did this by myself. This is what I did. I can't give you a coin right now. I've got nothing to shill you because I'm changing the strategy. Nothing. Unable to find it. So this is how you know the difference. I'm not here to shill you. I have no leverage trading exchanges. I have no pump and dumps to give you, right? I'm not about that. I don't care. I am getting messages frequently. People want to desperately, they want to do these NFT garbage things. They want to do ICO pump and dumps. Everyone wants to make a meme coin. Everyone wants to use me. They want to use my audience straight away. They're like, hey, you can get in this and that. No, I don't care, man. I don't care. You can't put a dollar price on me. Try. Ask me for $100,000 promotion. I'm throwing it away. I don't care. It's not happening. I don't care. You do this once, you got to put your head on the pillow knowing you're scum. Other people use the word sellout. Don't worry about that word sellout. You're actual scum. I don't like being a hypocrite. I'm even telling you this strategy ain't working next time. So you've been warned. Whenever you see these, I know a lot of you, you're going to see that one coin that's going to keep breaking the highs and you're going to think, okay, now I'm trained to keep buying highs. But you are not going to feel the pain until, I'll show you, baby dolls. You know exactly when you feel the pain, all right? You won't feel the pain until, not this part, not this part, not this part, not even the first crash. The complacency, you're not going to feel the pain. But you know what you are going to see? You're going to see posts like me going like, I don't know, man. Seems like we've run out of buyers. That's going to stay in your head. You're not going to do anything. And then you're just going to go down to the poopy town. This is when you're going to start to feel it. I'm going to show you one coin. I'm going to show you the unicorn, pause swap. Luckily, I have this in my mind to show you right now. This is when you're going to feel the pain. right? Don't put on log chart. Let's look at the real chart. This is when you're going to feel the pain. You're going to call me a non-believer, peanut brain. You're going to use words to justify yourself. You say, oh, you're coping. This is what people say. Oh, you're coping. Oh, you missed it. You missed it. You're fading it. You know what you're doing. It's the same thing, man. Literally, it's the same thing. Circling and circling and circling. Nowhere to be found 3, 6, 9 months later. Nowhere. So how about you take this chart, you stick it in your face, and you remember it. Because that's what will happen to you if you don't take this warning seriously. Or you can continue being exit liquidity, lose all your money, and maybe you can try again in the next cycle. For 99% of us, you know exactly who's your friend. And you're going to confirm it in the comment section. Like, subscribe, bell button, or tell mum and dad that you appreciate them. Maybe you should call them sometime.